News Jax.
He can spend his eternity in somewhere that's peaceful and not somewhere that is basically a garbage heap.
It's the moment we all across the area have spent months waiting for. Little Lonzie Barton's body has likely been found. Not the outcome that we were hoping for, but a major part of the mystery is over. Action News Jax has brought you continuing coverage of the search for Lonzie since the night he disappeared.
It all started on July 24th with a 911 call saying a toddler had been kidnapped. But in the hours that followed, police quickly zeroed in on a suspect. The man who made that call, Ruben Ebron. All along, they've said he had the answers, and that proved true on Sunday when he led them to remains in a wooded area on Jacksonville's south side.
Our team coverage on every angle of this developing story continues, from community reaction to the police work still being done right now, even how social media is responding. We begin with our Russell Colburn live where those remains were found and the memorial that's growing out there right now, Russ.
That's right, Dawn, and this gives the community some closure, but I want to be clear, there's nothing easy about this. This is not a good development. This is not what we wanted, of course, as you mentioned, but this is some finality, and that's exactly why the community has rallied and come out here. In just the day we found out that these remains were discovered, they appear to be belonging to Lonzie Barton, but you can see how everyone has just responded in full force. Teddy bears, signs, candles for this little boy to memorialize him here. Well, take a look at these signs posted at the Duval County Courthouse yesterday. Love drugs more than your own son. That's sad. Now, that's where we thought the trial for prime suspect Ruben Ebron would be starting with jury selection. Instead, we had this major development with what is believed to be Lonzie Barton's remains just a few hundred yards from where I am now. But before all of this, it was an extensive search for this little boy that took place mostly on the south side of Jacksonville. Officers working hours on end for weeks at a time in temperatures in the 90s. 38 agencies in total volunteered to help the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, but they had the support of the community mentally and physically as volunteer groups combed areas of their own. And one little girl captured our hearts when she brought snacks in for the officers working so hard. Now, yesterday we also spent some time up in Baker County getting some reaction from them as well in this major developments in the case.
We never want to say we're happy, but we're grateful. We're thankful because you know what? The family may have not been there for that little boy, but the community, Northeast Florida, was there for him and just wanted to know where he was.
Now, coming up in the next half hour, you'll hear from a little girl who added to this memorial herself. Reporting live, Russell Colburn, CBS 47, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
Now that Ruben Ebron has led police to what is likely Lonzie's body, the entire case has been upended. Bridget Matter continues our team coverage now live with the next steps in this investigation. Bridget?
If you remember from that press conference, the question was asked if there would be additional charges and for who and what they would be. But that question was not clearly answered. If we remember from last week, Lonzie's mother, she did enter a plea of guilty to 2 charges of child neglect and lying to police. She then went on the stand and provided testimony about Ruben Ebron dealing drugs around her children. Now, that was a turn in the case. 48 hours later, Ruben Ebron led investigators to remains they believe are of 21-month-old Lonzie Barton. As this unfolded, our cameras caught Ruben Ebron being escorted into the state attorney's office, and a source confirmed with us he would be entering a plea Monday afternoon. A hearing was then scheduled for 2:15, which was later canceled after 2 hours of waiting. Our law and safety expert Dale Carson says a plea deal could still happen.
I don't think there's any question that there's a plea deal in the works. Now, the fact that the judge hadn't accepted it today doesn't mean that the judge is not going to accept it. But let's look at what's happened. You've seen Ebron go over, no doubt provided a sworn statement. They found the body. The sheriff's office acknowledges that they found the body based on what Ebron told them. So basically, that's a confession.
And we're told that Lana Barton, her sentencing is going to be pending, depending on how this investigation unfolds in the next half hour. There were questions asked to the state attorney at that press conference yesterday about a potential plea deal. Hear what she had to say coming up. Reporting live downtown, Bridget Matters, CBS 47, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
Thanks, Bridget. 6:07. Even though Lonzie's possible remains have been found, investigators remain there at the crime scene in the Bayard area off Snyder Street. We asked Action News Jax crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson what else they could be out there looking for.
They've got to scour this area like nobody's business. They got to make sure that they get every piece of evidence, every shred of anything that may be or become evidence in this particular case.
And Ken continues to talk with us about what's expected moving forward in the case. We'll bring you continuing live coverage of the Lonzie Barton investigation throughout the morning. For updates anytime, you can always go to the website actionnewsjax.com.